Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. We are looking at the Rolls Royce Rebellion. I mean, it sounds like a movie title, right? But we're going to unpack how a billion-shilling luxury car literally sparked a brutal, high-stakes battle for one of Uganda's most powerful political offices.
It really poses this absolutely fascinating question. Could a single luxury car actually cost a major politician their power? As the race for Speaker of Parliament heats up, a lot of Ugandans are asking if Speaker Anita Among's recent controversies are going to be the thing that finally tips the scales. So, in this explainer, we're mapping out exactly how he got here. We'll see why the internet just absolutely exploding over a car is actually revealing a much, much deeper power struggle.
Part 1, the Rolls Royce controversy. Let's start with the inciting incident, the spark that literally changed the entire political conversation overnight. So reports suddenly emerged that the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, acquired a Rolls Royce Cullinan. We're talking a vehicle reportedly worth billions of shillings. And you know how fast things move online, right? Images and stories of this car just spread like wildfire across TikTok, Facebook, X, WhatsApp groups, you name it. But why did it blow up so fast? Well, the devastating symbolism of this luxury ride directly clashed with existing, really widespread public anger over three massive issues. We're talking corruption allegations, rising poverty, and political privilege. Suddenly you have one of the country's most powerful politicians directly linked to one of the most expensive cars in the world. And boom, you've got a massive public relations crisis on your hands.
Which brings us to part 2, sanctions and political pressure. Because you see, this Rolls-Royce didn't just appear in a vacuum. It arrived when the political atmosphere was already, well, incredibly tense.
To really understand the stakes, we have to look at the facts impartially. Among was already facing some severe international heat. We're talking sanctions imposed by both the US and the UK over corruption allegations tied to the Karamija iron sheet scandal. Now, let's be super clear here. No Ugandan court has actually convicted her of corruption. That's an important fact. But politically speaking, the damage was already building up. With speakership elections looming on the horizon, the whole environment was just highly sensitized. So any new controversy, especially something as flashy as a billion-shilling Rolls-Royce, suddenly matters a whole lot more. It just compounds that existing pressure.
Moving on to part 3, the accidental speaker. So, sensing this growing vulnerability, political rivals decided it was the perfect time to step out of the shadows and kick off an open rebellion.
Enter Justice Minister Norbert Ma. He openly challenges Among's hold on power, publicly branding her an accidental speaker. Ouch. I mean, using a pointed insult like that is not something you do lightly in high-level politics. It was a highly deliberate move, basically designed to trigger a fierce public confrontation and really test her political armor.
And man, did that political war escalate quickly. This happened at the NRM retreat in Kyangkwanzi. Mao issues his public challenge, and Among, she does not back down. She immediately fires back, accusing Mao of trying to enter the NRM bedroom. And then Mao fires right back at her. The big takeaway here is that suddenly the entire country of Uganda is watching this massive, high-stakes power struggle unfold completely out in the open. You have top officials trading these highly personal, direct political blows for everyone to see.
All right, part 4, the general and PLU. Because the plot definitely thickens when we look at the shadow power quietly hovering over this very public brawl. Let's talk about the broader alliances. The absolutely crucial point to grasp here is that General Muhoozi Kainerugaba is not just another politician, not even close. He's Uganda's chief of defense forces, a massively influential military figure, and, yeah, the son of President Yoweri Museveni. For years now, Ugandans have speculated that he could eventually be the political successor to his father. Because of that unique status, his alliances, and really any statement he makes, carry enormous weight in the country's broader succession calculations. So naturally, any signal he sends in the speakership battle is watched like a hawk. Now, Muhoozi leads the PLU, the Patriotic League of Uganda. And let me tell you, this is no fringe group. It has rapidly grown into a massive political force. It's got heavy backing from ruling party figures and a really large base of young, energized political activists. But here's the wild part. At one point, the PLU actually publicly backed Anita Among to keep the speakership. They were allies. But then, the political atmosphere completely shifted. Right after those explosive reports about the Rolls-Royce dropped, Muhoozi made a very noticeable pivot. He actively tried to distance himself from the severe public backlash, even going out of his way to publicly comment on the luxury car controversy. And you know, in Ugandan politics, when Muhoozi speaks, people listen. Carefully. This pivot wasn't just some casual, off-the-cuff remark. It reveals some serious, deep, behind-the-scenes political calculations. It strongly suggests that alliances were rapidly shifting the moment that scandal broke. To see how that shift actually plays out on the ground, just look at figures like David Kabanda. Kabanda is a highly powerful public defender of Muhoozi and the PLU right inside Parliament. As the race for the speakership gets hotter, Kabanda's influence there is becoming absolutely critical. It really proves that this battle, it's not just about Anita Among and a luxury car anymore. It is fundamentally about alliances, strict loyalty, and the grand mechanics of political succession in Uganda. Which perfectly tees up Part 5, the ultimate political prize. Why is this specific office worth a multi-front war? Why are these folks risking so much political capital?
Well, it's because the speakership is arguably one of the most strategic offices in all of Uganda. Whoever sits in that big chair basically controls the very machinery of the government. They control the parliamentary direction, literally what gets voted on and what gets quietly buried. They dictate political visibility, meaning they can elevate their allies and completely mute their rivals. Plus, they command massive influence inside the ruling establishment. And that right there is exactly why this battle is so intense. It's why the Rolls Royce controversy matters politically way beyond the staggering price tag of the car itself. A luxury car arrived, the internet exploded, and almost immediately political rivals swarmed in. As these incredibly powerful figures maneuver behind the walls of parliament, we are essentially witnessing the early stages of Uganda's next major power struggle. The alliances that are being formed and broken right now over this speakership battle, those are going to echo for years to come. So we're left with this lingering question. When the dust finally settles from this proxy war, who will actually emerge to control the nation's political future? It's a gripping situation, and definitely one you'll want to keep an eye on.